learning your ABCs with all your buddies.
I'm Miss Jillian.
And I'm Pastor G. Jesus loves you, and so do we. Hey kids, welcome to our extremely awesome Bible ABCs video for today.
Our letter for today is X. This is an uppercase X, and this is a lowercase x. X makes the X sound like an X-ray.
Other words that begin with X are xylophone and... You know, there's really not that many other words that begin with the letter X. At least I can't think of many. Although words like box or fix end with the letter X.
You're right, very few words start with the letter X. However, some words still have the X sound, like in excited or exhausted.
You know, if letters had feelings, I bet the letter X would feel excluded, which means left out. But it does remind me of our Bible character for today, King Xerxes. Xerxes was a king of Persia when God's people were exiled.
I don't think the kids know what exiled means, Pastor Greg. Could you explain it to them?
Exiled means that God's people were forced to exit their homeland. They didn't want to leave, but bigger, more powerful countries forced them to. Xerxes was a king of one of those powerful countries, and that exile made God's people feel lonely and scared.
Don't worry, though. God had not forgotten about them.
No, God used two of his people, Mordecai and Esther, to save all of his people.
For more on the story of how God used Queen Esther, you can check out our Bible ABCs video for Q.
King Xerxes was the most powerful man in the world at the time. For a while, it looked like he was going to destroy all of God's people. But even if King Xerxes was powerful, God was way more powerful, and he had a plan to save God's people.
The story of King Xerxes reminds us that no matter who appears to be in charge, God's the one really in charge. He has a plan to save us even when things look extra bad.
When Jesus died on the cross, it looked like a very bad thing. But through God's love for you and me and Jesus' sacrifice, God has saved you and me from any bad thing or any bad person we might ever run into. He's an excellent God, and he knows exactly the best way to help us when we're in trouble.
When you trust God, you can expect that he will take care of you.
Why don't you guys join us for our next Bible ABCs video?
I'm Miss Jillian.
And I'm Pastor G. Jesus loves you, and so do